So here I am, this monster elm, English elm. I have an annual ritual. That means once a year it gets pruned. Can you imagine that all this growth is 1 year? I don't know why I keep growing it. It's just that I'm fascinated by big trees like this. So let me put my gloves on in case I cut my finger accidentally. So how do I approach a tree like this? The way I do it is simply prune it to the outline first. So the proverbial beehive shape. It's quite amazing how many of my students, they can never see the beehive shape. When I ask them to do a beehive shape, they somehow cannot visualize it. So, as I always say, it is no more than doing topiary, like pruning a hedge or whatever. I could almost do it in my sleep. Mind you, the roots have not gone into the ground. It's just that this is a massive tree with a lot of growth. And of course, when all is done, all is said and done, I still have to, look at that, 1 meter long, all in couple of months. Couple of months. Yeah, the roots have not gone into the ground. It's just that it is a big pot. I will put it in a bonsai pot one of these days. I do have micro pots large enough. So some person will buy it. If you look around the world, places like in Indonesia, Vietnam, China of course, bonsai of this size is made. So I have a lot of wise guys who come on the nursery say, you must be mad, you know, no one makes bonsai this size. But they probably don't realize what goes on in the bonsai world. Large bonsai are made, and some of these large bonsai I've seen in Indonesia and Vietnam are bigger than this, especially with ficus. So you can see the procedure. I'm just getting in here so that I can show you the trunk again. Unless you see the trunk, it doesn't start to be a bonsai.
Do you want a hedge cutter?
I think Josh is saying the hedge cutter. I think a hedge cutter would do it easily. Yeah, not joking. We used to have that pruners, isn't it? The hedge pruner.
Yeah.
We used to go around with that. But it just shows how quickly I can do it. Just with a humble pair of Felco secateurs, I'm going to get most of it done. You're seeing it in real time. Nothing is speeded up. Of course, the beauty of all these deciduous trees is in the winter time when they don't have leaves. They're even more beautiful. If only this was a desirable species, what a lot of cuttings we would get out of it. Elms produce from cuttings very readily, very easily. Many people have asked me, how come the English elm doesn't get Dutch elm disease? The thing is, if you grow it as a bonsai and in pots, you can control it. And it's only the trees that are growing in the hedges and in nature that they get this Dutch elm disease. Although I don't think the disease is so rife now. I might need a ladder to get to the top. Let's see, let's do the bottom part first. Okay, I think I will stop it for a while. I'm going to bring the pruners. those are the parts that I can't reach, so I'm getting Josh to use the electric hedge trimmer to trim it. So we're just doing a bit of hedge trimming to create this bonsai. The leader needs to come out. We need to make sure it's a perfect dome, not triangle. So that is how bonsai is made, with an electric hedge trimmer. Look at that. So we've got the overall shape. Some of the bottom we can also clean up, Josh, the hanging ones. Yeah. Go underneath it. Underneath, flat. More. And more, and more. On the left hand side. Yeah. Yeah, over there. And then if you look at the shape a bit from this side on the edge there.
Yep.
Okay, so that's done. And now I'm going to go in the tree and create some space between the branches. This is the tricky part. The overall outline is not that difficult, but creating the space is the tricky part that we have to do. As I say, during the winter time when the tree is without its leaves, you can see it better, but I still can see what I'm doing. These are such vigorous trees. Can you imagine the native elms growing so strong? The Chinese elm in their native country grow as strong as this. That's why they have used so much for bonsai. The world is full of Chinese elm. And the elm is a very, very lovely tree for making bonsai. So you can see I'm creating the pads in here. And then when all is said and done, we have to show the trunk as much as possible. Left to their own devices, all plants tend to send their shoots vertical. But we don't want that. In creating the pads, we want them horizontal. So anything going upwards, we cut off. Like this bit here going upwards, I'm cutting off. So I get this flat pad effect. Now this tree will have to be lifted with a crane or with a digger. There's no way can it be lifted manually. Even 4 men wouldn't be able to tackle it. See, even here I'm trying to create some pads to get the space between branches. I've got to bear in mind that I shouldn't be losing the overall conical shape. So I don't want to go too crazy.
How many times have you pruned this tree, Peter?
Only once a year. Only
Once a year.
Only once a year. About this time of the year. So when you think that you prune it only once a year, that's not too much to ask, isn't it?
No.
So this is my preferred front. See, what was hollow has healed up. So this is a completely hollow tree. It's completely healed now.
Looks good.
Ah. Have you got a silky here?
I'll give that a go.
No, it's okay. Unless you prune this. I just don't want that to go. Okay, that's great. Okay, a little more. I remember once going to a village in Spain, I can't remember where it was, and an old lady was telling me about elms. They didn't know that I was doing bonsai, so I remarked about the tree. She said this is an elm, ulmus or something. And she said they're tough as old boots, they're impossible to kill. That is the reputation elms have. So if someone wants a spectacular tree, this is the sort of thing to go for. Again, a lot of crossing branches, we need to deal with them. It's good. When you grow it in a ball shape, you don't know which is crossing and which is not crossing. But eventually they all need to be dealt with. So I think we haven't taken more than like 5 minutes to do this tree.
No.
It's all restored to normal. So we'll do it again next year. But can you imagine if you didn't do it, it would get completely out of control. Perhaps if we reduce the size of the pot, we'll be able to control it that much better. So there we go. I might even carve the front. Carve it again with a router. That will slow the growth up a bit. So, trees like this give me enormous pleasure. I know that not all these trees ever sell, but you learn so much from doing it. And I think knowledge and education in anything is more important than just selling a tree. So there you go, that's another project done. While we are here, let's show you some of these oak trees. In similar fashion, you know, a lot of these trees that we grow are native trees. This is an oak tree. So again, we keep cutting it back. Waiting for the trunk to develop, that's what takes time. That really is a long process. And to show you the contrast, these are the Chinese elms. We grow them from small to get big. So we're not in a rush to sell these either. You see? These are Chinese elms as bonsai. This is English elm. Look at the prunings that we've done. All from one tree. Amazing. There you go. So that's a project done. Look at the view from here. I think that's a nice angle. Very nice angle. I think we can probably reduce this a little bit. The beauty is here. I don't think we need that far somehow. But I'll keep it for now. So this tree has got a long journey yet. Could be restarting to another shade.